Good morning. It's July the 4th, and this is Morning Message. Last evening on the news on Compass, they spoke briefly about a lunar eclipse or a partial lunar eclipse that's expected this evening. So if the sky's clear and you're up around 1 o'clock in the morning, I guess Sunday morning, you look up, if you have a good pair of binoculars or a telescope, you can see the top part of the moon, at least from our perspective. The top part of the moon will fade slightly in this partial lunar eclipse. But that got me thinking about the vastness of space. That little bit on the news just made me think about how big the universe really is. And you know, space is it's a difficult concept to put our minds around. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, the remote control for the TV is all the way over there on the coffee table. You know, it seems like so far away, and you end up watching a rerun of Three's Company when there's a perfectly good rerun of Corner Gas on another station. You know, I bought a remote control, universal remote control, years ago, only to discover when I got it home that it didn't control the universe, not even remotely. I borrowed that joke, reused that joke from a meme I saw on Facebook years ago. You know, I believe in being environmentally friendly when it comes to humor, recycling, reusing. Well, maybe not reducing. I probably fall down on that particular part. But back to the point of today's morning message, and that is how vast the universe is. That sun, the Earth is going to come between the sun and the moon, and that's why there'll be a partial eclipse this evening. And the sun, you know, doesn't look all that big from where we are, but the sun actually is huge. It's immense. You can fit approximately, give or take, 1 million Earths inside the size of the sun. That's remarkable when you think about the sizes that are involved. And our sun is just one of billions of suns in the Milky Way, which is the galaxy that we are a part of. Our galaxy is one of any number of galaxies that exist that we're aware of. In fact, if you add up all of the suns in all of the galaxies, that's a greater number of suns than there are grains of sand on the Earth. I mean, it's just phenomenal when you start to think about all of these things. And yet, at the core of our belief, we believe God created all of this, and yet still cares about what happens in my life, still cares about what happens in each of our lives. There's a wonderful scene in the movie Gandhi where Gandhi's walking through a small community in South Africa with an Anglican priest. And they're walking down a street and there's some bullies in front of them. And the priest wants to turn around and go the other way. And Gandhi wants to continue going, believing that God will walk with him past these bullies. The Anglican priest is a little more reluctant to go on his way. That even though at the core of his belief is that God cares about everything that happens in his life, He's not so sure that God's day revolves around his particular happenings. What's remarkable about that story, and it's probably not an actual story, it's probably a composite of teachings of Gandhi, is his deep appreciation and understanding of the Christian faith. And he taught that Anglican priest a valuable lesson that day about how much what we say, what we do, how we behave matters to God. And regardless of what streets we happen to be walking down, God is with us and cares about us. Now, I don't know why. I mean, other than God loves us, that's why God cares about us. I don't know why God loves us. But the good news is that God does love us, cares about everything that happens to us, and wants the best for us, and wants us to behave in ways that's life-giving and fulfilling for ourselves and for those around us. When you think about the vastness of the universe, when you think about those billions upon billions of stars, and how small the distance is between me and my remote control, it's really, really remarkable that the God who created all of this loves us, cares for us, and wants the best for us, and wants our behavior to be of that nature that helps fulfill our lives and fulfill the lives of those around us. It's truly a wonderful gift that God has given us, an awareness of God's presence, an awareness of God's love, an awareness of the deep care that God has for each one of us, despite the vastness, wonder of creation. And whether or not you try and stay up till 1 o'clock and view that partial lunar eclipse, that's up to you. But in the midst of it all, whether you're considering those distances or the distances between you and that remote control, remember that God loves you, and that's something for us to rejoice in. That's good news for us to share. May God bless. Amen.